All right, what are we doing? Intro, bang, boom, done. Intro car, Jamie's car, not my car, 1 Series. Jamie's not even here to talk about his own car. Okay, welcome back. Jamie's staying with us for the week. I was like, hey, I want your top mount intercooler setup and radiator because this thing gets hot. This thing gets so hot that this valve cover used to be black.
What?
Yeah, it came anodized black from Vargas. What we're doing, lots of big mods. CSF, basically everything. CSF obviously makes really good products. We use them for basically everything else. They make a really nice top mount. They have a nice plate on the front actually, so we have to mod this to remove the quick connects, put the AN fittings. It was kind of nice to just be able to unbolt this, cut them off and weld. That made life very easy. We have the electric water pump to pump the water for this. Now we'll come over here to the radiator. So this short little guy is the N54 radiator. This turd sits in the car like that, or this radiator sits on top of the OEM intercooler. Most of the time, you know, the OEM one it didn't have this stepped part. This is called the stepped one. This is still a CSF, but this is a very small stepped one. Not great for how much power he was making. When you delete this thing, you get to just have a radiator in your car. And now it sits up like here in the stock location. Nothing happens down here. So we swapped this guy. This is the E92 M3 CSF radiator. The mounts are all the same. Slides right into the OEM plastic the same. This bottom attachment is exactly the same. Your hose just clips on. This top one, we actually cut it and you pull it in an inch. The E92 M3 one kind of sticks out like this, so the hose doesn't clip on. So we just cut this off, cut like 3/4 of an inch off, weld that back on. As you can see, this is about 4.5 inches, 5 inches taller. It's about 30% more surface area, so it's absolutely fantastic. It's just a win-win. That space isn't gonna be used anymore, so might as well make it work. Now that we have this in there, you still end up putting this in front. So to an extent, these are gonna sit like this now. This is just a straight up BMW F80 front mount heat exchanger from CSF. We did the same thing. We cut off the quick disconnects, put on AN lines to run AN hoses. It's just easier for us. What else are we doing? I sold him my pore injection and my Reflex. This is my pore injection rail. It's nothing fancy. It's just a pore injection rail. We have the Reflex to control it. Jamie's goal now for this season is to run full 85. He was running a blend before and just mixing. We also had to do the Radium. Exactly the same as my old setup. Come from the field, from the surge tank. Jamie had a surge tank. We'll show you those in a second. Come from the surge tank, go through here, direct injection. This one, I have a welded on return line. So we added an external regulator as well. And that will act as the return back to the surge tank. You probably can't see it. Fuel comes out of the fuel tank, goes through the OEM regulator inside the fuel tank into the surge tank. And then because it's not regulated after the surge tank, we need this external regulator to regulate the pressure. Now let's go look at the surge tank. This was Jamie's little guy before. Worked perfectly fine if you only have one pump and you're running 93. We had to upgrade to the multi-pump one. Now Jamie's ready for 1,000,000 horsepowers. This one is gonna run 2 Walbro 450s. The main pump in here is triggered off a relay from the stock pump in the tank. So anytime the tank pump is turned on from the factory, it will automatically turn this one on. That way it's always getting the same engine to the fuel. The second fuel pump is controlled by this relay as well, or the second relay, but it's getting a ground trigger from the Reflex. And that's what we're gonna use to control the pump that will be needed, I don't know, 4, 6, 8 PSI for full E85. I built all this, made all the nice wiring, did everything good. We ran all the lines and then I realized I forgot to put the fuel pumps in the tank. So we're gonna need to take that out. Update time. It's a manifold. Luckily the N54 and the S55 have the same intake manifold. So what the N54 used for like a valve cover, we get to use for the intercooler mounts. CSF and none of these come with intercooler mounts. You have to just buy a junkyard F80 intercooler for $100 and then you'll just bolt on the mounts yourself. Pretty easy. 2 bolts. We got 1 hose off my old one. We're just gonna use for length. Voila. That's how it sits. For now, let's get the reservoir bottle all mounted on here. This is just a stock bottle that comes on the S55. we're just trimming away. Just hitting some things. Just trimming some things. Probably gonna have to part it out after this.
Honestly, I should just sell the car now that we did everything.
Yeah, that's exactly what you should.
That's how it works.
Yeah. It's actually going really well. Radiator and fan are in there. The GoPro died, so you didn't see that. We got this all mocked up. It fit really well. We had the bumper in. It was just touching a few places, but we had like 2 inches from the intercooler back here, so we're just trying to tuck it back in. It was hitting this lump on the headlight bracket, so that's what I'm cutting out now.
I'm gonna get all of the protests.
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna get all of the bitches. It's like, the only thing you're gonna get is a bunch of dudes being like, wow, you have a cool car. All right, quick little update. You saw me building the fuel pumps, pretty easy. Radium makes everything super simple. So, like I said, we got the dual fuel pumps in the Radium. One for the, don't move my nice Raychem harness.
Sorry.
This is what the people want to see. That's classy harness.
I want to see the Radium. We got to give Radium a shout out in here.
Okay, like I said, one fuel pump triggered off the other fuel pump in the main tank, and then the second one's driven by the Reflex for when he needs all the boost. Got a nice classy little relay system going back there. Tried to 3D print him a bracket, make it as nice as possible. Big fancy, but he needs to vacuum this thing. There is more just rubber in random places than I think he knows what. He could go on a 5-pound diet if he just vacuumed out the trunk. Jamie's the king of 4-offs. So fix your grass, Jamie. Get to vacuum. Let's jump to the front. Let's see what else we were doing. We got all the lines routed. Very similar to what I did before. I put the new EWP right in basically the same spot. You probably can't see anything, but ignore this fuel regulator for now. We're not mounting the fuel regulator because a certain brand still did not ship a J-pipe. I thought we would be able to finish everything until he showed me that this J-pipe is welded to the turbo, where mine has a V-band for the updated CES design. So we knew we were never gonna be able to make this pipe because I'm not going to pull the turbo and cut that off in these few days that we had. But unfortunately, we also didn't finish the J-pipe. It's a super easy pipe. It's called a J-pipe because it's in the shape of a J. Does a UE like that. I was gonna give him mine, but my blow-off valve hits where he had his power steering, so he needs to weld this up here. All the hoses for the intercooler are done except for one, because I didn't have a 10 N45 degree. We made 2 brackets, both on each side, that mount to the stock intercooler drop-downs, which was pretty classy. So we just have 2 L brackets that come off of those and hold the bottom of the intercooler. Now I need to make one top bracket right here. That should take 1 second. More plug and play than I thought it would be. My whole front end is custom, so I knew we were gonna have some issues with some things, but luckily it was all just the plastic front radiator support. What else do we got? That's it. That's everything. You know, we're just trying to retain all OEM features. I'm pretty fucking good at my job though. I thought this was gonna be more of a total crapshoot, but this is classy. This fits right back on. It's perfectly underneath. I'm gonna retain all that. I've done my bracket. I'm spray painting it over there. She's nice and hard mounted.
I hear you're making messes.
I'm making a fucking mess everywhere. Look at this thing just chop out of here like it's freaking cammed LS or something. I didn't really look. It was already full. I just kept chugging.
Hooray! I'm so happy. Never overheating again in my life.
No, not with this radiator.
Oh.
You're gonna be able to beat the living piss out of this thing. All right, let's put the wing on. Let this settle a little bit. If you roll this thing though, I will be upset with you.
I think we're good. I think this is Jamie. My sick 3D printing skills.
Why do you always look so terrified?
It's actually really easy.
Because the camera. Breakfast.
Dude, we're gonna yes, we're gonna put a reel together of just Mitch with the camera. You were like pointing Mike Scooch like at my balls and making noises.
I did the
didn't even
undershot.
put it in the video.
Because I didn't want it to get flagged for being inappropriate.
Wing on the inside or outside?
Inside.
Which way do you want the head of the hole? All right.
Do inside. I don't.
Yeah, we did. All right, which hole? How many arrows do you want?
Well, let's see.
Seems like
What's gonna help you get home?
Yeah, what's the best gas mileage? I think we want to tilt up as far as possible.
Probably like that.
I usually, whenever anyone was like, "Can I do this on my stock car?" I was like, "I don't know."
It's like I would tell you, but my entire front end is not
It's
stock.
not stock. All right, Jamie. So, what's the goal for 2025?
Well, let's see. Let's not total a car.
Okay, fair
It's a good starting spot for you.
That's not how you want to start. Less 4-offs.
How
Nice.
many 4-offs did you have last year?
Don't. If anyone
Did you
follows
count?
me on Instagram, don't look at my.
I'm gonna go through and count.
There you go. Go take her off.
You didn't even get that on camera?
Well, I didn't think it was just gonna fall off. You said he was taking it off.
My God.
You can put it back on and we can redo it.
Take 2.
We're gonna keep all of this in. All right. This is how they do TikTok magic, you guys.
It's like what
Wrong way.
That's what they. That's what Kyrie Irving said one time to John Wall. It's like you missed your highlight.
Whoa!
Oh my God. It's crazy. Unbelievable.
What event are you most excited for in 2025?
Road Atlanta, because it's one favorite track. I think it's the best track in the country.
We going to the ATL?
It's one more event that I don't have to drive 12 to 16 hours for because I live in
True.
Florida and driving for red light events it's a journey.
What's your favorite track you've ever been on?
Probably Road Atlanta or Watkins. Did Watkins in 2023.
Just go practice Road Atlanta for like 7 track days, so you have the most optimal leg up on all of us.
I'm just gonna do every track day at one of those 2 tracks to just maximize it.
There. Yeah, I don't know how that works, so you're gonna be responsible for that one. I'll hold your splitter.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I actually don't remember where I had them.
Sick. Hold on, let me get some nuts. Yeah, I remember because I tried to take the intercooler.
Hello, darkness, my old friends.
Yeah, so now just double nut it.
Double nut it.
This is the double nut.
Because what's better than 1 nut?
2 nuts. Now how do we... Alright.
What you want? What? That's what you get.
How did we lose 1 of each though? Oh, it's right there. As you say.
Kendra, all right.
Dude,
What you
I'm
want?
starving. Alright, bumper time.
Bumper time.
Here, you do this then, and I'll do the water pump.
Let me hold the gas pedal for 10 seconds.
Is that just gonna squirt everywhere?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if this squirts all over my face, then
No, shouldn't.
if it squirts all over my face, then
See,
there.
just did a
Good
big
start.
sock, yeah.
If it's sucking.
You guys are all thinking it's gonna squirt now. It's a sucker.
Mitch, are you a big advocate of sucking over squirting?
I think you gotta swallow to be a man.
Yep.
Overflowed again.
There it is.
Did a good suck right there.
Super Soka 5000?
No, Gawk hop to a more like the old school Gawk 9000.
She's not
You just call it old school?
Yeah, school.
Wow, I feel old now.
No comment. Yeah.
How's that brake clean working for you?
Didn't work really good. It ran out.
Unbelievable.
starting to think you just like to set things on fire. Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
Mitch is just trying to fall off at the moment.
Pretty much. Oh.
Like we all
Look at that, Sean. No crack.